What's up, guys? This is Thomas, and welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm back with again Fortnite to the Apocalypse for this week. This is chapter 216, A Secret Revealed. And we got Merlin and Escanor on the cover. I did see the leaks, as always. So, just gonna let you know, a big reveal is gonna happen in this chapter. So, hey, get ready. There's a way to fight back against the chaos. Is that true? It is. Tell me about it. I'm sorry, but I can't right here. Why not? You never know where the servants of Camelot might be hiding. Ears on upon us. It's that much of a game changer. It was enough power to deal a fatal blow to the chaos and lay waste to all of Camelot in a single instant. So, whatever this way to fight back against chaos is, whatever this power is, whatever this thing is that Merlin is talking about, she says it was enough to lay waste to Camelot in an instant and deal a fatal blow to chaos. So, hey man, we even got Gotha. He's looking like, really? But does that truly exist? Hold it. That stuff doesn't matter at all. Let's get back to the original problem here. Why did you not tell me you were my parents until just now? So, we thought based off last chapter that Gawain didn't want to know. But looks like she wants to know. Didn't you not want to hear about it? See, even Merlin says it. Come on, Merlin. So who's Kay? My father? Your foster father, I suppose. As I said before, we were both facing certain circumstances. And that was why we entrusted you to Kay. His wish was to make up for past mistakes with Arthur, his brother-in-law. He was the first to notice the changes in Arthur, and so he asked me for help. Then could you raise this child for me as your daughter? One day she will be a knight of prophecy, one who can rescue Arthur. I was wise to leave you with him. He was no natural, but as he raised you, he gave you more love than I ever anticipated. I needed to remove myself from this world in order to protect a certain secret. Not that any excuse in the world could cover for my failures as a mother. So, Merlin says she needed to remove herself from the world in order to protect a certain secret. Whatever secret that is, I don't know. But she claims it was enough to remove herself, to need to remove herself from the entire world. Whether she's just saying that like metaphorically, or whether she actually means or like she probably actually means she's in like a whole another dimension. I don't know. Then what about you, her father? Oh, well, in my case, I'm already dead. This body was created by Merlin to serve as a vessel for my soul, you see. So, wait, hold on. This makes no sense. How was Merlin able to... So, Escanor's soul was still lingering within the world then. But we know that Percival, as a life spirit, is the only one... I mean, he's not the only one that can see souls, obviously. But as far as I'm like, I'm pretty sure he was the only one so far that we know that can take souls and put them back into like the bodies, or put them into bodies. So how did she take what was probably a lingering soul of Escanor and put it into a whole nother body that she created? I don't know. But he says he was already dead. We already know that. But the body was created by Merlin to serve as a vessel for his soul. So, that is that. Dead? Yes, thanks to my feckless behavior, I cannot ever directly hug you. But I hope at least to be able to take care for you. Escanor, your father, died 18 years ago, right after defeating the Demon King in the Holy War. He burned up his very life for the sake of the world and his friends. And as I watched him burn away in the flames of his own creation, I felt a sense of loss like nothing I had ever experienced before. So I took a bit of flesh from Escanor's body and mixed it with that of my own. So we got Gotha saying no. Thus, I broke a strict taboo. Gawain, you were never raised in my womb. Wow. You were created through the use of a forbidden spell. Now this, I did not know through reading the leaks because there was no text. Obviously, I didn't read any text. I just like swiped through the photos, obviously. So that's what keeps these chapters still being very interesting. Is you got the text that you never know what they say. You know, you just see the photos and you gotta create your own theory or whatever based off of them. But I did not know this. I mean, I thought maybe she revived Escanor. They were both like in a different part of the world, and maybe she, did what she did with him. They had a kid. Their kid was Gawain, but no, she took part of his flesh, mixed it with some of hers, and created Gawain. That's insane. And they said it's a taboo, a forbidden spell. We even got Gother, swear job. He's like, no, we got Dubs, man. He's looking like, no way. I feared learning this would make you abandon yourself to despair. So to avoid that, we kept this a secret. Gawain, I don't know what to even say. No, ho, 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 ho. So I truly am special after all. I always wonder why I wasn't like all of those other morons. Now look at me. I'm on a whole other level. So that's what it is. I was made, and that's why I'm not able to love anyone else. That's not true. No need to deny it, Balin. You are loved by a great many people. How can that be true if you don't have any love within you? Balin, you only faint swimming thanks to a curse I placed on you as an infant. I did so with loving intentions, mind you. So, wait, is that Escanor saying he placed the curse, or is that Merlin saying she placed the curse? I guess that's Merlin saying she placed the curse. So they're calling it a curse, actually. Well, Merlin's calling it a curse that she placed on Gawain to only, see attraction to women. So that clears that up. I didn't want you to go through the pain I did falling into a pit of misery thanks to impossible love. Thus, I thought it was best to banish any romantic interest in the opposite sex. So she thought about, still keeping in line with the OG series and Merlin being in love with Meliodas, but not being able to get with him because Meliodas was in love with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was in love with Meliodas, and everything they did was for each other. She didn't want that same thing to happen to Gawain, so it makes sense. Okay, but a curse liberation. I just removed the shackles. I'm sorry, Gawain. Quite a thin line between love and a curse. Do you feel different now? No, it doesn't seem like anything's changed. Whoa, 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 too close and too musky. Why this now? So, she says it doesn't feel like anything changed, but it's clear as day. With this man over here blushing, Balin being close to her, something did change. Now she's blushing towards Balin. Gawain, I know it's coming far too late, but can you forgive us? No. Dad, Mom. So she runs and she hugs them. We get a photo right here of what they'd all look like together if Merlin and Escanor was actually there in their true forms. If you want me to forgive you, then hold me tight till I say it's okay to let go. How I long to hug you with my real body, Gawain. That doesn't matter, Dad. You're still you and Mom's still Mom. So where are you, Mom? You have a way to fight back against the chaos, right? If that's what you seek, then come to me. Oh, okay. So she's gonna get trained? Is she gonna get trained by Merlin and Ferguson? Wow. But how, Mom? The key is inside of you. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to enter auto mode for a while. Mom? Return into the ship and commencing cleaning. Mom? I'll be waiting, Gawain. So she says the key is inside of Gawain. What the hell does that mean? So could she actually be inside of Gawain? Like, it requires Gawain to maybe, rest or something? or is like there's some type of power. Like she may really be in another dimension, a dimension that right now Arthur, the other Arthur, cannot reach, but like could probably only reach through Gawain. But like he doesn't even know yet that he could reach it through Gawain to get to actual Merlin. I don't know, man. But she's turned to auto mode. She tells Gawain she'll be waiting. So you're finally awake. Hey, Merlin. How long was I asleep for? Oh, around 2 years. You've lost quite a bit of your strength. How's the fight going? It's not looking great now. I see. But don't worry, there's still hope. Percival has come back, and the other three are more powerful than ever. With them on our side, we can do it. We can regain Britannia, and you as well. Arthur Pendragon, my one and only master. So this is the big twist that I was talking about. Oh man, I don't know what to say. Man. I mean, it makes sense that he would age. Obviously, you know how many? I mean, with how many years it's been? Every other character in this series has also aged, and I know that a lot of people probably expect him to look the same because, well, Meliodas and everyone else looks the same, but Meliodas is a demon, and Elizabeth is a goddess or like half goddess or whatever. But even she kind of looked different now. But Arthur's a human, you know. He was bound to, change and look just like, a Jericho or just like a Hauser or whatever, or a Gilton. He was bound to change and look just like them and actually look like a more grown adult or a more older grown adult or whatever. So, but I'm just like, he looks extremely different here, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I don't hate it. I'm going to assume this is his real form and that the other Arthur isn't the real form because it retained the form from when he was younger. But, like, the other Arthur, in my opinion, don't look young either. Like, the other Arthur looks like an older version of Arthur from, the Seven Deadly Sins series, but with just, like, the same hairstyle or whatever, So it's not like, but this one looks like he really aged. Like, he grew the hair out. He got the beard. Just like, I think, doesn't Guild Thunder have a beard now? Those characters that were, like, younger then also have a beard now. And you gotta also realize it's been 18 years. 18 years. And Merlin does tell him that, he's been asleep for 2 years. So, I'm assuming that while we never really got to Merlin in pre-time skip is because he was probably doing whatever they say is right here. Working with this right here. Then you got what happened to Percival where he, was out for 2 years, and then obviously this version of Arthur, which I consider the real Arthur, was out for 2 years. So he was woke previously. Like, I literally have no idea what was happening with this Arthur and why his body looks like this and why he was only out for supposedly 2 years, but looks like he was out for longer. Like, I don't know. And I have no idea what Merlin was doing the previous, before the time skip, at least. It's crazy, honestly. But I'm glad we got to Merlin. So now we've officially gotten all of the Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, heck, we even got Escanor back, man. So I'm just excited to see where this series goes. Man, I'm assuming this is the real. Like, this is the real, like, current day what Arthur would look like. Merlin still considers him her master or whatever, which he should be calling her master, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she still considers him that. I guess she still is obsessed with, like, the chaos stuff or whatever. or how does it work? Because I feel like Merlin in the OG series kind of developed a love for Arthur, but like I kind of feel like she kind of developed a love for Arthur in the OG series, but like then at the end you got the stuff with how it says she liked the Meliodas but couldn't get Meliodas, so then she started focusing on the person who would get the chaos, and that was Arthur, and she kind of found a liking for him, but then she I guess fell in love with Escanor and did what she did with Escanor to get to create Gawain, and I don't know, man. How is that gonna work? Like, she got 3 guys she liked it, but like she actually created a kid with Escanor through forbidden spell, and she's like still attached to Arthur, I assume, but I wonder how Gawain's gonna get there. She says the key is inside of Gawain. She also mentioned earlier in the chapter that she had to, remove herself from their world entirely. So she's like got to be in a whole different type of dimension, whole different type of universe or whatever with this version of Arthur. Maybe this is Arthur from another universe. Now that would be insane. This is just a whole entirely different Arthur from another universe, and that's why he looks this way compared to the Arthur we know. But yeah. Let me see the comments real quick. Maybe there's some comments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Merlin saying that Gawain was cursed to be attracted to women? If so, then that's crazy. Not that I'm mad about it, but I think some fans are going to be offended. Yeah, as I was reading that, I got to say I also feel like some fans are probably going to be offended by that. But like at the same time, Japanese manga is wild, bro. Like, I feel like it's never really... I feel like it's not really nothing where it's like the author's trying to be offensive. It's just they're, especially Nakaba, I don't think it's trying to be offensive. I think it's just, whatever. But I do feel like it could have been done in a better way, because you got to think about all the types of people that read the manga, all the types of people that read your story. Some people are definitely going to be offended by that. So, I don't know. But then again, this fandom is a very chill fandom when it wants to be. Like, a lot of that stuff you may feel like you may get upset about, they may not get upset about. But going back to the whole Anne versus Nazian thing, yeah, they can be kind of childish too. What a crazy chapter! I love it. This says, I don't know, I'm not gonna attempt, but I do see the word gay, so whatever. Another day, another chapter, another day of shitting in you writing. Yep, so that might be someone that's upset. No wonder Arthur hasn't aged. It's not true. It's not the true Arthur. It's probably a manifestation of chaos. We got into the cat monster he ate. Merlin probably tried to remove the corrupted power, and it transformed into a clone. That too could be that. What an absolute garbage writer. Reading this every week is such a great love, because you never know what depths will sink to. I'm gonna assume that's someone that's upset. Some bullshit like your chaos half separated from your human half. That's not actually bad. I wouldn't call that bullshit. It was actually a great twist to me. Because then you go back and you think like, well, why hasn't he aged if he's just a human? Why doesn't he look much different? A human's gonna age, human's gonna look different, after 18 years. Generally just unlesbian her like that. Quite the choice. Was it established before that Arthur was out? I don't remember that. I mean, she just lived the curse that makes her interested in the opposite gender. She can still like girls. Merlin basically made her bi. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is just because Merlin called it a curse and said that she cursed her, doesn't mean that Gawain still can't like women. A lot of people need to, before they jump to conclusions, realize that she can still blush around women. And I feel like we might get a gag or so where once she returns to Isolde, she'll be like, oh shit, you're still fine or whatever. But I like the reason Merlin gave for why she did that is she didn't want her to. She didn't want for the same thing to happen that happened to her when it came to Meliodas and and Escanor and stuff like that. She just didn't want that for her kid, and it's fine. So the reason Gawain likes women is because of a curse mom put on her. Wow, just why. I knew Nakaba was lackluster writer, but this is just unbelievable. Seriously, he did not think his change through at all. This is going to piss so many people off, and it just makes Marlon look even worse. But I didn't know she released chaos in the first bloody place. Why do people forget this? But she denied her daughter a chance to fall in love on her own terms. Okay, so I'm probably gonna stop at this comment because I was right at the beginning. A lot of people are gonna be mad about this, and I don't feel like keep reading this, but I'll give my opinion on this comment right here because she says. So she starts off by saying Gawain likes women because of the curse Merlin put on her. Wow, just wow. Not gonna lie, let's write her, blah blah blah. Unbelievable. I don't think Nakaba's a lackluster writer just because people came expecting for there to be like I guess same sex love in a series. Just like with Nazians developing the feelings for Percival in the beginning while not actually having a gender, but everybody expecting Nazians to be a boy because of the way Nazians look. People forget that even with Nazians in the beginning, you can't just say Nazians was a boy or whatever because everybody had their idea of what Nazians truly was because one, he wouldn't take a bath with the dudes or something like that whenever there was like, the little hot springs or whatever. Two, he wouldn't pee around them or whatever whenever they would use the bathroom around them or whatever whenever there was like a bathroom area or whatever when they were traveling. So everybody never knew what was up with Nazians. Everybody thought like, oh, well, Nazians must really be a girl or whatever. So that's not lackluster writing from Nakaba because people expecting Nazians to be a full-on dude, and it turned out like, oh, well, really, he's a fairy. He has no gender. He can be whatever he wants to be, whenever he chooses who he wants to love, between, the actual other genders that are to love. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the same thing with Gawain here. Gawain had this gag where she would, hit on the chicks or whatever when it came to, part one and even part two of the story before we got to this flashback. But it was never a confirmation that Gawain really, really liked them, really, really liked the women or anything like that. There was never any confirmation that. It's just what people came to the conclusion of because they saw funny moments where Gawain will hit on Isolde and say, oh, you're beautiful or whatever. That doesn't make him a lackluster writer. That just means you jump to a conclusion before, you had a chance to actually see what will go on. And it's things like that where people will be like, where similar to the My Hero Academia fandom, where people will be like, oh, well, you came with your own headcanon, and now you're mad that that headcanon didn't come true. You can't do that. You can't call the writer a baiter or say that, oh, they suck because, or they did this, and that's just what it is. That's just what they did. That's not the case. Now, about it peeing people off, yeah, it's going to pee people off. It is what it is. I mean, everybody knows since it's been read, since the moment it's been read, oh yeah, that moment, it was the moment I read it or the moment other people read it, they were like, oh yeah, that's gonna piss some people off. And to say it makes Merlin's character look bad, it really doesn't, because again, she was just looking out for her daughter, to be honest with you. And again, no one knows whether Gawain is still gonna retain that about her because she's been doing it for so long. Even if it was a curse, she still could retain that about her, that she likes to, maybe hit on women or whatever and tell them that they look good or whatever. She could be bi, who knows. But the only thing that's changed now is that she's able to like whoever she wants. This is Merlin releasing the curse from her of just her being able to like one sex. She can like any type of sex she wants now. She can like dudes now. She can like the non-genders like Nazians was in the beginning. She can like anything she wants now. Like, she might still find women attractive, but at the same time now she finds guys attractive. So, it is what it is. And then he says, Bad enough she released Chaos in the first place. Why do people forget this? But she, yeah, and then that part that I don't really care about. I'll just say she didn't deny Gawain anything. Like I said a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, this just gives her the chance to like anything, develop love for anybody or anyone or any sex, and have options. Um, she was the one who released Chaos in the OG series, right? Because, like I said again a few minutes ago, she ended up getting interested in Chaos, and that led to her meeting Arthur because Arthur was the one who was supposed to wield Chaos or whatever, and blah blah blah, all that. Yeah, that doesn't make her a bad person at all. She was just trying to find her own thing to be interested in, her own thing to love, and that's what it led to. She made a mistake. It is what it is. Kind of been established since the beginning. Merlin's a pretty shit person since the beginning. I mean, if you feel that way, I don't think Merlin's a shit person. I think she does things that make people feel that way, but like overall, she's not really a terrible person. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. I've been yapping for a minute. If you like me doing it this way, where I read the comments as well after the chapter and kind of give my opinion on everyone's comment or whatever, because at the end of the day, that's all it is opinions. Then let me know in the comments. I'll do it that way. I'll wait for the chapter to drop here and then do it that way. But if you like when I do these a little bit faster and drop them like right when they come out, and right when the Reddit, the subreddit or whatever drops them for whatever site they drop them on, then I'll do it that way as well. Always remember to support Arthur, and also read the official chapter when it drops on the official place to read it. And because we do read them here, but we also like to support Arthur as well, and maybe read it again. But like, comment, subscribe. This has been Thomas Zamp. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.